Alright, and welcome back. This is another Will It APU style video where we have the Apollo Ridge build running the Ryzen 5 2400G at the stock CPU frequency with the GPU overclocked to 1600 megahertz. Well, sort of. You'll see there on the overlay that the frequency bounces out quite a bit, but it is set to clock at 1600 megahertz on Vega 11, so you can see the frame rate's not fluctuating, so maybe it's just the reading that is. So DDR4 3200 is at 16 gigabytes with 2 gigabytes allocated to the iGPU, and that is the G.Skill Flare X RAM. Now, with all of that out of the way, what we're looking at here is Far Cry 5. This is the full-blown release. Now, as far as drivers, we're still having to use the initial launch drivers for the Vega iGPU. The accompanying video that we're also working on, where the RX 480 versus the GTX 1060 is going to be the official drivers for the game for the RX 480. So you see that, just know that these are running different drivers. Now, Far Cry 5 uses an enhanced version of the Dunia 2 engine, so the same engine that it's used to running in the past with the previous Far Cry games, except it's been enhanced even more so. So we are running again with the Ryzen 5 2400G, so that's the CPU usage you'll see up there, and the thing is, it's been enhanced for DirectX 11 for multi-threading capabilities, but what we're wanting to do today is to see what settings, if any, will make the game playable running on just the APU, because obviously right here where we are with 22 FPS is not going to quite cut it. So you can see the game has a lot of lighting effects as we look around. Very dense, very dense. This is my buddy. I saved him, so he'll probably be following us around as we do this video. Now, most of the video, because the frame rate is actually very stable throughout, is we're going to kind of look around and gather a good frame rate. So let's go ahead and get into the options here and get started. So where we started here was 1920 by 1080, and that's the normal preset. So we're going to drop it down to low and see what that gets us in the game. So going back, and we see that it bumped it a couple FPS, but you'll notice the game still looks really good. Even at its lowest setting, the game really looks good. So they didn't compromise too much in the settings, but 24 FPS is not where we're wanting this. We're not watching a Blu-ray. So let's go in here and let's start with, we want to jump the quality back up to normal, and we're going to drop the resolution down to 1600 by 900. Alright, so back in with that, and 60 FPS in the menu, but we've already been getting that. So jumping into the game again, we can see here a little bit higher, 27 FPS, so closer to playable. Now this is a game that you can play with a controller around 30 FPS. Generally you want to get over 45 for a very smooth feeling, but let's go ahead and drop that to low and see what that gets us. So dropping that to low, well, we're right there at it. So 30, 31, hey buddy. So that's close. I mean, if you're willing to take the few dips that you would run into, you would be there. But let's go a little further. Let's go back to our options. Go to our video. Let's drop it down to, let's take it back up to normal, and let's drop it to 1280 by 720. Now you notice you only have 3 options here. You really don't get a whole lot of options as far as resolution, and see how it looks. We're going to go in and actually start messing with resolution scaling, because this game does feature resolution scaling. So here we are at 40 FPS at 1920 or 1280 by 720. So infinitely more playable, much smoother experience. Game still looks good. Again, I know there's people out there that are going to rag on 720p, but truth is, this is an integrated solution. So let's actually drop it down to low, and let's see how it looks at 720p low. So frame rate went up just a hair, not enough honestly to justify leaving it at that point. So before we move along into the game at all, let's see about resolution scaling. Then we're going to play for just a minute and see how that goes, just like we did with Sea of Thieves. So I'll do that, and then I'll kind of get out of everybody's way, and which is probably what most people want to see. So we're going to go back up to normal. And here's resolution scaling is over here in the advanced. Now it's a scale of 1, so like you see 1.1, you can go all the way up, you can double it. So you can go to essentially 4K scaling, and that is not what you want to do on here. But we're going to take it down to 0.7. That's where I found it to be very playable. See, for those who are wondering why you'd rather use resolution scaling, is because notice that none of the overlay changed or any of the icons on the screen. So what you get is the menu system. So like your weapon wheel will stay at a 1080p resolution, and the in-game graphics will drop down. So we're running right around 30 FPS at 70% scaling, which isn't quite where you really want it. See, the problem with this game with the scaling is whenever you want to see like way off down there. So let's switch this back to my pistol. Let's see. We'll do this one last thing. We'll change it. Actually, we're going to change it to low, and we're going to see what that does. Much better. So, you know what? While we've got it pulled up, let's see what taking it down to 50% scaling will do, as well as what it'll look like. So, oh, look at that. We dropped into a safe VRAM limit. Now, for those wondering with the APUs, if you do go over the 2 gigabytes of VRAM that you have allocated, all it does is continue using system RAM. So, it's actually perfectly fine. Oh, look at this. So this is essentially running at half 1080p, so 540p, and you're running at 50 or so FPS. That's oh my god, but it looks like smeared molasses. You know what, let's ride the zip line. This is, I can't do it, guys. I can't do it. We're gonna go ahead and take it back to 0.7. And I'm gonna get out of the way and let the game we're gonna play through a little section, maybe find a little mission. So it's been Keith with WCCF Tech TV. If you found this, entertaining or whatsoever, you know what to do. And you want to see the RX 480 versus the GTX 1060 in this game, we'll link that one. But I'm gonna get out of the way, and again, I know I've said it a million times, but we'll see you later.
Beat them, join them. Feel sorry for those who went down that road. They're just scared.